Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the world of paranormal investigation. But we're going to leave the spirit boxes and EMF meters on the shelf. Instead, we're exploring a new kind of toolkit, one that says the most powerful tool for solving a mystery isn't a gadget at all, it's a method.
And this is the question at the heart of it all. It's the core idea behind a new series of challenges for investigators. The premise is actually pretty simple. In this day and age, the best tool for getting to the bottom of strange phenomena might just be good old-fashioned critical thinking, backed up by the resources we all have right at our fingertips. And that leads us right to something called the investigator's test. It was created by a researcher named Dakota Frandsen, and it's basically a series of challenges. But they're not designed to find ghosts. They're designed to see if an investigator has the skills to tell the difference between what's truly mysterious and what just looks that way.
And right there, that's what makes this whole approach so unique. The test doesn't care one bit if you're a diehard believer or a total skeptic. It's built to measure something much more concrete: your resourcefulness, your logic, and your ability to solve a puzzle using actual, real-world evidence.
Okay, so the test runs on three simple but very strict rules. First, every single mystery presented already has a known, verifiable solution. There's no guesswork. Second, you have to be able to find the answer using public resources, like a search engine. And third, your conclusions got to be based on evidence, not just a gut feeling. So, you ready to see how it works in practice? Let's dive in.
All right, let's put on our investigator hats for our first case. This one's rated easy, but trust me, it's a perfect example of how fast a spooky story can spread online, and more importantly, how easily it can be solved if you know where to look. So imagine you're the investigator. This photo shows up in your email. It's surrounded by all these stories about a terrifying creature from Native American folklore. The picture itself is grainy, it's creepy, and it's just believable enough to really freak you out. So what do? Do you pack your gear and head for the woods? Or is your first move something else entirely? Take a second. Think like an investigator.
Turns out the solution isn't hiding out in the wilderness, it's hiding in plain sight in movie history. The viral Skinwalker photo is, get this, actually just a still frame from a 1983 British sci-fi horror movie called Extra. It's the exact same creature. The mystery is solved, not with an EMF meter, but with a simple search. And that right there is the exact skill being tested. A quick reverse image search cracks this case in seconds. A really sharp investigator would also notice that the stories being passed around online kept changing, and that's a huge red flag. It all boils down to learning how to separate a powerful myth from the actual, tangible evidence right in front of you. All right, let's level up a bit. This next case is rated medium, because it needs more than just a quick search. It really demands that you understand a bit about local context and even human behavior. So here's the scene. You get a call about a shark attack in Idaho. Yeah, you heard that right. Police and emergency crews are swarming the Perrine Bridge, which goes over the Snake River. The claim itself sounds totally impossible, which honestly is what makes it such a fantastic test. Your mind should be racing. A shark in a landlocked state's river system? No way. It just doesn't add up. So, if it's not a shark, what else could possibly explain the police activity and all the eyewitness reports? A good investigator would start to break this down piece by piece. The whole shark attack story? That's likely just a clever bit of misdirection by law enforcement. It's an easy way to keep people away from what's probably a sensitive scene, like a base jumping accident. And the shark-like creature people saw? Almost certainly a white sturgeon. These are massive native fish that can grow huge and are known to leap right out of the water. One of these belongs there, the other, not so much. And if you really want to dig deep, a top-notch investigator could go even further. You could check in with local fish hatcheries, you could research sturgeon behavior, and most importantly, you'd recognize a common police tactic: using a wild story to control the scene and protect the privacy of anyone involved. Okay, time for our final case. This one is rated hard, and for good reason. It's tricky because the answer requires a very specific bit of knowledge, something that goes way beyond a simple web search or a local rumor. So here we go. We're in Filer, Idaho. People in town are reporting a strange but harmless little creature that they've started calling the MonkeyCat. Then, a police officer actually gets it on video and throws out a huge clue. He says he thinks it might be a marsupial. All right, let's put the pieces together. We have a MonkeyCat, we have a police officer who thinks it's a marsupial, and we're in Idaho. The clues almost seem to contradict each other. So how would you connect these dots and figure out what this animal actually is?
The answer is a kinkajou. It's not a monkey, it's not a cat, and it's definitely not a marsupial. It's a tropical mammal that's native to South America, which points to one and really only one logical conclusion. This was someone's exotic pet that was probably abandoned or escaped.
And you see, solving the mystery of what it is just opens up a whole new set of real-world problems. A great investigator would immediately start thinking about the legal trouble the owner could be in, the very real ecological danger of a non-native species being loose, and the simple, practical challenge of safely capturing an animal that's so far from its home. So when you look back at all three of these cases, you start to see a real pattern emerge, right? This isn't just about solving fun little puzzles. It's about a really fundamental shift in how we approach this stuff. It's about moving from just believing in mysteries to actually investigating them with a serious evidence-based toolkit. What this shows us is that the real toolkit for a modern investigator isn't full of gadgets that go beep in the night. It's full of skills, things like digital forensics, a working knowledge of local wildlife, some applied zoology, understanding human behavior, and maybe most important of all, an absolute commitment to evidence. And look, the point of all this isn't to be a debunker, you know? It's not about shooting down every strange story just for the fun of it. It's about elevating the entire field of paranormal investigation, making it more credible and way more effective by raising the bar for what we all consider to be good evidence. Which, of course, leaves us with one last, pretty fascinating question to think about. If we applied this same level of tough, critical thinking to every single strange event, every supposed haunting, what genuine mysteries would be left standing? What phenomena would actually survive the test? That's a thought to leave you with. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.